Good evening, everybody. This is your favorite aspiring classicist here, a wandering author, reminding you that we're all the authors of our own lives. As always, my message remains the same. Spend less, live more, earn your freedom with frugality. And today, we're going over Chapter 3 of Book 6 of Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics. So remember, Book 6 is all about the intellectual virtues, as opposed to the virtues of character, things like courage. And now that we've gone through the first two chapters, he's going to start breaking down each of the 5 qualities. In this one, we're going over scientific knowledge, which you probably are aware of. But he opens the chapter by saying, "Let us then discuss these virtues afresh," going more deeply into the matter. Let it be assumed that there are 5 qualities through which the mind achieves truth in affirmation or denial, namely art or technical skill, scientific knowledge, prudence, wisdom, and intelligence. So those are the 5 different ways that we come to truth. And each one of them is a little bit different. So let's talk about each of them just briefly. Art or technical skill, to me, it's almost like a kind of bodily intelligence. This is like any kind of art or skill. So if you've watched my channel for a while, then you've seen some of the videos that I've done on guitar. I'm not like the best guitarist out there in the world, but I've played for a long time, so I've picked up a couple of things. Whenever I'm really playing something that I know, I don't really have to think about it, but my body takes over. That's because of art or technical skill. Scientific knowledge is more like #book smarts. So like what you learn in school. And Aristotle has some stuff to say about it, but it's pretty short, so let's go ahead and let's dig into it. The nature of scientific knowledge may be made clear as follows. We all conceive that a thing in which we know scientifically cannot vary. So we know things scientifically whenever they don't change. So he's kind of like, Newton's law of motion. That's not changing anytime soon. I mean, not unless somebody at the Large Hadron Collider violates physics or breaks down reality. So things that we know scientifically are invariable. When a thing that can vary is beyond the range of our observation, we do not know whether it exists or not. Pretty simple. If something can change and we're not looking at it, then it might have changed, or it might, may not have changed. An object of scientific knowledge, therefore, exists of necessity. It is therefore eternal, for everything existing of absolute necessity is eternal, and what is eternal does not come into existence or perish. These things don't change. The objects of scientific knowledge, or of book smarts, these are eternal facts. Again, it is held that all scientific knowledge can be communicated by teaching, and that what is scientifically known must be learnt. Which I think is an interesting point. We communicate ideas by teaching them. The kinds of ideas that we communicate by teaching are scientific knowledge. But all teaching starts from facts previously known, as we state in the Analytics, which is another book of Aristotle's, where he goes over logic, since it proceeds either by way of induction or else by way of deduction, which are the 2 ways we arrive to knowledge. Now, induction supplies a first principle or universal. Deduction works from universals. So induction comes up with a first principle, and deduction uses this first principle to come to a particular fact. Therefore, there are first principles from which deduction starts, which cannot be proved by deduction. Therefore, they are reached by induction. Scientific knowledge, therefore, is the quality whereby we demonstrate that a man knows a thing scientifically, when he possesses a conviction arrived at in a certain way, and when the first principles on which that conviction rests are known to him with certainty. For unless he is more certain of his first principles than of the conclusions drawn from them, he will only possess the knowledge in question accidentally. So unless you know the first principles without any kind of unwaveringly, it's a funny word, unless you know them absolutely, then you can't say that you know a thing scientifically. And yeah. That's pretty much the end of it today. Pretty short one, but I still think that it's important. I am interested in seeing the difference between scientific knowledge and intelligence, I actually forget off the top of my head. So prudence is a type of practical wisdom. I think I may start doing my Greek history videos again too, just to do them, because that's the whole reason I started talking about Aristotle, and then Aristotle's become the main thing I focused on just because I find him so interesting. You know, he's definitely got some interesting things to say. Chapter 4 is also going to be a short one tomorrow, but then he's got some long chapters towards the middle of book 6. So that's pretty much all I've got for you guys today. I may record a video on Greek history, but what are y'all doing in order to inspire, uplift, and empower your local community today? Because this world isn't changing unless we all do our part. You can count on me to do mine daily. Until next time, I love y'all.